just listening to the music. There's nobody here but me. It'll be over in a minute.
WRAZ Radio 102.7 Adrian, Missouri.
And there it goes. Hey, happy Wednesday. How's everybody? Just to make sure. Can you hear me? Am I okay? The meters say I'm good. That don't always mean anything. I got diddly squat tonight. So we're just going to hang out, talk. And if you aren't behaving yourselves, I'm going to read a book to you. You think I'm kidding, don't you? I'm not. Okay, who's here? There's two of you. Who are you? Say hello. Makes it better if I know who I'm talking to. If you didn't see it, I posted it on the QRAZ page. The radio station, which is sitting over there just chugging away. I'm going to be adding about 43 classic country songs, and I thought I'd tell you just a few of them while I'm sitting here. I've got it up on the screen right over here, right over there, so I can see it. And I didn't say I could read it from here. I said I could see it. Yeah, Ray Price, Crazy Arms. Johnny Horton, Battle of New Orleans. Marty Robinson, El Paso City. Flatten Scruggs with the Battle of Jed Clampett, the Ballad of Jed Clampett. Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire. Roy Orbison, Only the Lonely. God, everybody loves that one. Roger Miller, King of the Road. Almost Persuaded by Dave Houston. Let's see. Tammy Wynette, Stand By Your Man. Okie from Muskogee, Merle Haggard. Rose Garden by Lynn Anderson. What's Your Mama's Name by Tanya Tucker. I love that song. We're Gonna Hold On, George Jones, Tammy Wynette. I'm not reading all of them. I'm going to read some. You Never Ever Called Me My Name, by My Name by David Allan Coe. Blue Eyes Crying. Don't I? That's Mickey Gilley. Uh, Jump around a little bit. They made Ricky Van Shelton, Boogie Back to Texas, by a connection somewhere. So if I disappear on you, blink in and out. Third from the Sun by Joe Diffie. Old Enough to Know Better by Wade Hayes. Daddy's Money by Ricochet. And Please by the Kinleys. That's just some of them. There's 43 in total. It's a 3-record set that I got for absolute nothing. Be 3 CDs, and I'll have to rip them and move them into the So it'll take me a day or two to get all that done and then shuffle them into the playlist. Okay, nobody said a word. I don't know about you guys. Upcoming next Wednesday, the 8th, we'll have Melinda Elmer here. Lord knows what we're going to talk about, but Melinda's coming. We're going to strap her to the chair so she can't run away on us. And we're going to ask her questions. I'll probably open up the phone line that night. Everybody local knows Melinda, so they can call in and ask her questions. She's involved in, I don't know what she's not involved in. She's got her own business baking. She's in the Scouts. She's just involved in a little bit of everything. So we'll get her in here and talk to her. Been working on getting a local artist or two to come by and just pick and grin for you. Finally getting some mics set up where I can do that and it won't sound stupid. Excuse me. We hope it don't sound stupid. How's that? And later in the month, we're going to have a 4-part series on the Constitution of the United States hosted by Shelley Harrison. It'll be on here on February 22nd, March 1st, I'm looking at the list, March 8th, and March 22nd. Everybody knows basically First, Second, and Fourth Amendment, and after that, everybody gets pretty fuzzy, so she's going to go over that, the Constitution and the amendments. Fill you in. Should be interesting. Hope you have the time to attend that. And nobody's said hello yet. Not one of you has said hi. Can you not hear me? Am I not getting through? Is this thing working? We hope it is. Nobody said they can't hear me either. If you aren't careful, I'm going to read that book to you. I really don't have much of anything going on tonight. Been working to add to the playlist, which that's coming. And at some point, we'll add more. Now, what I will add is going to be limited. It will be like classic country. We have a lot of classic rock already playing. Around 4,000 songs playing now. Now, if I add some classic country, there's Melinda and Bill Dudley. These are my go-to mics. I know what these mics do, but I've got a couple of new ones I'm really wanting to set up and play with. So I may make Melinda my guinea pig to try that. Melinda, I talked to Landon, and he's one of the ones I've been talking to about coming by, hooking up a couple extra mics and let him do some picking and grinning for us. We'll see how that goes. We haven't set a time yet. Between his schedule and mine, we'll work something out. We'll just get that going. Hey, just my curiosity got me this week. These books, these first readers, they started in 1930. They were Look and Say, See and Say, which was a move from the old phonetic learning to read stuff. The illustrations and stuff. Let's see if that'll focus. But anyway, they were in the schools, adopted by the school system in the 1940s, and they stayed in the schools until well into the 60s. This particular book is a little later on. It has all the kids Dick, Jane, and little Sally. They this particular book's original copyright was 1956. Have I bored you to death yet? But these were a big change, a big disruption to the way kids were learning to read, and they helped. Now, this one coming out in 56, I was past the state, Dick and Jane. But by the time this one came out, I was already reading well above this level. The book will bill. Book answer. And boy, did I discover it. What's remembered the first science fiction book I in the late 30s. Not remember the author's name right now, but I the thing he'd done. I find interesting on those the old science fictions. I think that he was done writing in the late 50s. So, but what I found interesting about it was what he got right and what he got wrong. He got a lot of things right, things that weren't happening yet, like video calls, things like that. But one of the things that struck me the most that he got wrong, if any of you are old enough to remember wire recorders, where they literally they worked a lot like a phonograph record, but it was on a piece of wire, and the vibrations were recorded and then played back. He thought we were still going to be using wire recorders, only they were going to contain a whole lot more data than what they were back then, because back then they were strictly voice, and he had them doing video and data and all kinds of things. Anyway, I was hooked on science fiction back then. Pinto's Journey. I don't remember that one. I read a lot of stuff. One of the other things I was into was, of course, Westerns. So I read a lot of Cisco Kid, Roy Rogers, Hopalong Cassidy. Bill Boyd played Hopalong Cassidy on that TV series. And he was kind of a prick, but one of the things about him was they made more money doing store openings and things like that than they did doing their movies and stuff. And he went down into the South. I can't remember which state it was in, but it was a new line, Hopalong Cassidy toys, a whole bunch of stuff, the guns and the dolls and the lunchboxes and all that. And this big department store was paying him to come and endorse and sign products and things like that. And when he got there, there was this huge line of kids in front that were in the South. They were all white. And he went around to the side entrance so he could get in without having to deal with all the kids and stuff in front. Second line at a side door where all the black kids were. Well, he made it in, and he told the store manager, he says, one line. And the manager said, if we get through all the white kids, then we'll let the other kids in. And Bill Boyd told him that if that's the way he was going to do it, he wouldn't be there. He'd leave. I guess the manager got snotty with him and he punched him right in the nose. And they merged the lines into one line. So while he wasn't an especially nice guy, he had some redeeming qualities. Picked up lots of crummy tidbits over the years. It's amazing. So, guys, what do you want to talk about? Any of you? Come on. Somebody speak up. Throw me a topic. We'll do an Ask Dale. I'm going to give you a couple of seconds while I get a sip of water. Don't jump in there all at once. Because I've already covered everything I had to cover and then some. Tell you how the day's going. Linda took her car down to get a thermostat put in it today. Of course, it's not done. But I was going to run down in the truck, pick her up. Well, I haven't been driving the truck in this cold weather. I hadn't been starting it. Battery was down. I had to call Ethan's and tell him to send her back. Run out to Napa, got a battery charger put on it. Got her car down there. And now we're waiting for that. We got it charged up to about 50%. Took her down, made a couple of little short errands, come back and put the charger back on it until it made it up. So I'm going to have to start driving that more. She does a lot more running than I do, and her car burns about half the fuel that truck burns. So, oh well. All right, guys, you're not saying anything. You're not giving me anything to talk about. I think I've covered everything. There was one other thing, and I just had a couple of people ask about the QRAZ name for the page. Hi, Sandy. The name started when I was in Arizona, and we lived, and then I haven't changed it. So should I change the name to reflect where I am now? Just for the page and for this stuff, not radio thing on the radio station anyway, wouldn't be a big deal. So if you guys got, let me know. So that's pretty much covers it. Unless you guys got questions. Well, that internet connection. Are you guys getting dropouts? Am I going away and coming back? Because my internet here is solid. It's just between here and the main server. So from here to there and then back to you guys is where the issue is. Somewhere out there where there's some latency or some dropouts or something. Okay. Another thing. We've got Doug Mauger, D.L. Mauger, Mid-America Live, doing live shows now. And he has one coming up tomorrow night, and they'll be talking about the tax proposal on the April ballot for ambulance service. And I'm pretty sure he's going to put that on Mid-America Live. It may be live tomorrow if he's got a horrible internet set up down there. If not, he'll record it and then repost it. So if it's not on tomorrow evening, he'll record it and post it, and it'll be on later. But watch for that. That should be interesting and informative. Going to boost Doug. Okay. Anybody got a question? Anybody got an answer? We'll take either one at this point. So we'll see what happens. But I've been rearranging and changing and tweaking, and it still looks like an awful lot of spaghetti running around in here with all the cables and wires and stuff. All right, guys. For a guy that didn't have anything at all to say, I've talked for about 20 minutes. I think I'm going to wind it up. We'll do a short one tonight. Don't let us get away with that next week while we got Melinda here. Put her on the spot. Ask all kinds of questions. And I don't care what you ask her. You can ask her anything you want to. She may not answer some of them, but we'll ask her. All right, guys. I'm going to wind it up. Make it a short one tonight. I want you all to enjoy the weather. It's going to warm up a little. Now, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place, if not before. If anything comes up, I'll pop in. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next week.